We are already in March, just a few months, and then the Marian Center crosses the milestone of 60 years. With this spirit of waiting, serene and frenetic at the same time, we look for something to tell, taking here and there from the diaries of the time. Scrolling through the pages, we notice so much positivity and trust on the part of the sisters on what was going to be created and outlined on the service to be offered in the Miami area. Divine Providence was at home. June 16, 1964. Divine Providence has already shown its preference for the Marian Center. An unknown person has sent a discreet offer. The accompanying letter is sober, but moving, and wishes blessings for the new work to flourish and bear fruit. The bidder is from Georgia and is the father of a mentally retarded. Here is summary of the style of Divine Providence: present, discreet, and punctual. It comes from everywhere, but it is selective because it is maternal and paternal and prefers the youngest or neediest children. On another page we read, even for desserts, there seems to be an understanding between Sister Lucia and Divine Providence. Money would certainly not be spent to buy sweets. This article is not part of the common food of the poor. But sometimes even sweets arrive in the home of the poor. The head of the family sometimes allows himself the luxury of bringing sweet things into the house. The same thing happens to us. Our Heavenly Father, to make us these surprises, uses the bus lady, the driving school teacher, and often even sends us sweets. How good the Lord is to us. There is love, there is no Cotalangina, none who has not had the contact with Divine Providence or been able to see in it every day the generous hand of God, the Provident Father, and it often takes us by the throat. In fact, while the nuns learn the language, established good neighborly relations, and got to know the culture, they became part of the social life of the place with greater awareness and belonging. The language. Finished doing the household chores. Here we are like model schoolboys. To make the English language program that takes place at Barry College fuller, our sister assistant explains grammar to us at home. Then our teacher at school spends the entire lesson hour on phonetics. Today we study intensely for an hour and a half, going over the rules, applying them, and keeping the terms in mind. Learning the English language often takes very seriously. We take it very, very seriously because the sisters who arrived in America were given the opportunity to attend an excellent college. And hats off to them who have been able to take advantage of this opportunity. Even in the midst of many difficulties, they are able to speak and converse in the English language of the place where they live. And congratulations. The culture. The Marian Center will be built with funds from campaigns for the development of the Diocesan Fund. Anyone who is a donor in the past will take part in future campaigns. They can find special pride and experience a feeling of great satisfaction for this. And thus concludes the article from the diocesan newspaper. The Voice. How much publicity? This is one of the American characteristics we don't know how to adapt to. Yet they tell us that everything is needed to attract attention to a work that must arise needs everything. We are in year 63 to 64. In Catalangino jargon, advertising, and any way of attracting attention to oneself were banned. It went like this. Today, advertising, mass media, and visibility used correctly are necessary and accepted throughout the rest of the world. And in the meantime, children manage to make everyday life happier and more complete. September 14, 1964. The Marian Center finally opens its doors to its little guests. Around 8:45, they begin to arrive. For about half an hour, we hear whining, but then everything normalizes. Sister Assistant, by means of a device that keeps the classes connected, opens the school day, reciting the prayer and the formula of loyalty to the flag of the United States. September 15, 1964. Describing what the children who attend the Marian Center are like is useless, but oh, how similar these creatures are to those that welcome our little house. Mothers are like all mothers in the world, perhaps less industrious than many Italian mothers. There are parents who accept the limitations of their retarded child and realize that he or she will always need assistance. Other parents think instead that by attending the Marian Center, their retarded child at the end of the school year will be returned to them, almost normal. To most parents, then, it doesn't seem true that finally, after so many rejections, their abnormal child has been accepted and can receive something. The language used, retarded, abnormal, is absolutely obsolete and primitive. Today we call our wonderful children and adults differently abled. They are the ones who teach us how to live alone in a world that wants us perfect in copy. Meanwhile, like flowed with the cadence that the Creator has established giving happy moments of pure joy together with others of effort and suffering. June 3rd, 1964. After several calls, these phone calls we received gave news that the city of Miami was not yet granted the connection for electricity and water to the new convent. Fiat, F-I-A-T. This makes us aware that bureaucracy also exists in America. How much bitterness you have to go through, smiling and keeping silent. But we know that this too is necessary for the house to be built on rock. So we are still provincial in this house. Where the heat is becoming a torment in some hours, Deo gratias in this too. Life is alternating and swinging seesaw of good and bad and fun. At one point in the diary it reads, norms to be observed by the religious established in the Diocese of Miami. Point 4, letter C. The veil and the hairstyle of the head is such as to allow a complete view of the road. In this regard, doubts will be resolved by the Vicar Mondiali in favor of public health for the good reputation of the Catholic Church. Sounds like a joke, but no more talk. Our sisters passed the exam. Many of them got their driving license without difficulty. Evidently, the veil and hairstyle were within the parameters. Thank you.